Hey beautiful people, welcome to the channel in the No Tarot 1122. I hope everybody is doing amazing. Vibing, chilling, doing your thing, looking good, feeling good, smelling good. And I do apologize for the delayed posting. Yeah, you girls started gardening again, and man, I got into it and got lost and really enjoying myself and grounding myself in the soil, and oh my god, enjoying it, love it. So anywho, let's see what we got going on for Leo. Leo, this is not going to resonate with everybody. Please take what fits, leave the rest. Feel free to check the other signs that I do post. If you like how I get on with my readings, hit that like button for your girl. I greatly appreciate it. Okay, all right. Also, y'all forgive me, I got cat, dog hair, soil, all kind of stuff going on today, but like I said, I'm just really kind of, you know, grounding myself and kind of dealing with some plants today. All right, so love it. All right, so let's see what we got going on for Leo. All right, and again, this is not going to resonate with everyone, so take what fits, leave the rest. Feel free to check the other signs that I do post. Also, please use your own discernment when it comes to these readings. If you see that the energy is lining up with what you go through, use this as a guide. But as always, this is for entertainment purposes only, okay? All right, so let's see. However, sometimes my readings have a tendency to take place over 3 to 6 months. So, yeah, there's that. All right, and thank you for the love, the support, the Cash Apps, the PayPals, and also the super thanks and all of that. I really appreciate you guys pouring into my life. Everything that you do give to the channel, it goes back in services, cards, and things like that. And eventually, I don't know, eventually I might be bringing back the over the phone readings as well, okay? Because I do know that a few of you have asked me about that, and when I was going to bring them back, or if I was going to bring them back. One of the things is that doing the readings over the phone is kind of cool, but sometimes you get kind of messed up service, and I don't think that that's kind of fair to you, or you know, for me to have to repeat things that are going on, a lot of noise in the background and things like that. And also, if you when I do start putting the live readings back on, just please keep in mind to try to have a quiet background and limited distractions and things like that, so you can hear me and I can hear you, and there's not a lot of, you know, chaos going on in the background, okay? All right, so with that being said, let's get it on for Leo. Let's see what's happening. What's the vibe for Leo? Leo, there is a destined event. Something's closing out, but that means that there is something new. All right, so let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you for my Leos. You might be bored, discontent at this time, especially if you're at an end of a cycle or waiting for something to begin. It can be kind of stagnant right now. But I'm going to put it to you like this. With the number 4 here, it looks like you are actually stable. So for those of you that have been on high alert for years and things like that, your nervous system is all over the place. If you are in a place of peace, and it may feel kind of bored to you, you know, not a lot going on, kind of get used to it, okay? Get used to being in peace, a place of serenity, all right? A place where you don't have to feel guarded, rushed, or things like that, okay? Take some time out to do something that's fulfilling to you, like plant a garden. I'm just saying. All right, so find a way to utilize your energy in positive ways that also give back to you as well, okay? Yeah, somebody here, you could be spending time alone at this time, okay? Take a class, study something, draw something, paint something, all right, cook something. All right, whatever it is, use your gifts and talents during this time to, you know, create something, help somebody else out. If there is some information that you know about health and wealth and things like that, share your, you know, your knowledge with others. Some of you, you could actually start a platform or whatever, you know, just sharing your thoughts, feelings, and things like that, you know what I mean? So with that being said, like I said, you might be in a stable situation. Things may have ended, but you kind of feel like maybe growth has plateaued here. But it hasn't, okay? You're in a period of respite, okay? So I like this for you, Leo. Beautiful energy. All right, shadows. So for someone here, also with destiny here, Leo, I kind of feel like this graduation day. All right, some type of elevation here. You could have actually gone through a period of, you know, where you were walking in the shadows right about now, dealing with a lot of things, you know, addressing some things that were deep within. And maybe you went through a period where, you know, there was a little bit of sadness here as well, especially like, you know, when you're going through a healing phase, sometimes you actually revisit some of the things that you've gone through, some of your experiences here as well. And sometimes it might dredge up some of those old feelings here as well. But along your way with this journey of healing and connecting with self and source, there's a lot of wisdom that should be gained at this time, okay? Actually looking at why certain things did not work the way that we wanted to. Also, there could be some things here that, you know, you've gone through in life that maybe you've learned from, you grew from. And maybe it's time for you to teach what you've learned here as well. Sometimes, you know, you go through life, and if you never grow through anything, sweetheart, your wisdom is gained through the word of mouth of others and not experience here, okay? So whatever this is, like I said, I think you're elevating here as well. For someone here, you may have been in hermit for a while, so maybe you're thinking about stepping out. And, you know, you got a new lease on life coming in with a different attitude and things like that. But like I said, for someone here, I feel like you may have done a lot of shadow work here as well. And like I said, wisdom and knowledge has been gained, and you're stepping up, taking your rightful place for this next section or season of your life here. All right, and then also, Leo, I feel like you're moving towards your wish fulfillment, what makes you happy, peace and abundance, and also self-fulfillment here as well. Okay, so I like this with it, for you. I see that you're doing a lot of work on the outside, but mainly a lot of inner work here as well, which that inner work radiates on the outside here as well. So job well done, Leo. Keep it up, okay? Continue. All right, so let's see. All right, awareness here. Look at this. I love this. Like I said, for someone here, you may have gained new insights, new wisdom here. Brand new start. Something is closing out, but stability is here. You're just ready for something new. All right, ready for the next phase. All right, strap on your seatbelt, baby. All right, recognition and reward. Absolutely. Did that shadow work. Did that work. Now it's elevation time, okay? You're being handed the reins for the next season. I love this for you, Leo. All right, so getting recognition from your higher power as well. Look at this. Beautiful. All right, so now it's time for the next phase. So that phase has closed out with destiny, and then we're on to the next. All right, give me messages, please, and thank you. All right, so emotional withdrawal here. All right, also not with this void and discontentment here, not allowing yourself to be emotionally, how can I say, not allowing yourself to be triggered emotionally so that you'll do something that is not, I won't say out of character. It's out of character for this season that you're in, okay? So no backsliding, going back to what we used to do, old thought patterns and things like this. Someone here, you could be kind of bored, and you know what we used to do, the people you used to deal with or whatever, how we used to move was kind of exciting. Could have been a little reckless, I'm just saying. But with that being said, learning how to take your feelings out of this situation and looking at things from a higher perspective. All right, like not a, oh, woe is me, this is happening to me. Transformation is happening for me to elevate me, to get me to where I want to go so that I can achieve my goals, get what I want in life. All right, so with that being said, looking at things from a different perspective here. Yeah, not being moved by emotions, basically standing on neutral ground and being okay with the process, okay, and know that there is advance forward movement. All right, so I like this for you. Things may be kind of slow right now, Leo, but it looks like they're going to be picking up here. 88 could be significant. That's crazy. All right, so we have 818. Somebody here could live here in LA in the 818 area code. We have 8188. That's crazy. We have 81881 here as well. So that could be significant for someone. All right, so your birthday could be 1988. It could be August 8th. Let's see. We have August 10th. You might be dealing with somebody, or a specific date here could be significant, like April 10th. You could have someone whose birthday is on the 1st or the 18th. All right, so there's that. All right, so let's see. What other messages do we have for Leo? Beautiful energy. Forward motion. Leo, you've learned some lessons here. Alright, look at this, and the knowledge that you've acquired is actually going to help you advance over a lot of obstacles that you possibly would have faced if you had not have taken heed to the messages. Do you hear the words that are coming out of my mouth? If you hadn't heeded the messages that Source was trying to give you here, you might have faced a lot of unnecessary BS, but it looks like you're traveling beyond and surpassing all this other stuff that may have come your way. All right, give me messages for Leo, please, and thank you. All right, so we have the devil here: addiction, ego, restriction, materialism, the emperor. Ooh, all right now. All right, try not to control the situation here as well. All right, so protecting, actually being determined to protect what is yours, the growth that you've had, your peace. Okay, protect your peace. I'm just saying, okay, so I don't know if there was something that you're, that was kind of not healthy that you were moving on from, but it looks like you're doing what you need to do to get forward in this situation. You're protecting yourself. You're determined to move forward here as well. And also, looks like you have a sense of structure here too. All right, so let's see. On the bottom of the deck, it says, open heart. Approach the conflict with an open heart. Give the other person a benefit of the doubt. So I don't know if you were dealing with somebody that's ill toxic, but there's a possibility that maybe you were dealing with somebody that was very controlling. Could have been rude as hell. I don't know. But a tyrant of sorts, actually. But it looks like you're actually closing out this cycle if this is somebody that you were dealing with. If this was someone that was in that energy, it looks like you are letting your defenses down. Somebody here could have been in this type of energy because of some things that you've gone through in the past. Somebody here could have been very angry and in a situation to where they're trying to control every aspect of their life and the people that come in it in order to keep yourself from being hurt. All right, so it looks like somebody here also might be letting their guard down. So that's for somebody. All right, so let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. I'm not going to take the flippers. Give me flyers, please, and thank you for Leo. What does Leo need to know? All right, temperance, having patience, allowing things to balance out, moving with caution, but, also going with the flow, allowing divine timing to take place. Absolutely being guided here as well. Keeping your moves secret because they are sacred at this time. Connecting more with source and self, like I said, and using that inner wisdom. And keeping your peace about yourself. Not getting stressed out, just have fun for now. And not getting too tied down. Like I said, going with the flow. Emotionally withdrawing from the situation, knowing that shift happens is necessary in order for us to grow, to prosper, to move forward through life. All right, and then the overall energy here is mystic power. Embrace your mystic abilities and never let anyone dull your inner fire. Absolutely, because in this lifetime, especially if you are someone who is aware, highly in tune, you can be intuitive, you can just be an overall good person. There are, unnecessary forces that will come against you to try to at least turn you into exactly a carbon copy of what they are. or that energy, okay, wanting you to give up, wanting you to fail. Some people or entities like to see you in a state of misery. All right, so like I said, just be mindful of this devil energy. Try not to get too emotionally wrapped up in whomever or whatever this is. Know that you are moving beyond this, and that this energy right here, this devil energy, maybe trying to keep you in a situation where you're oppressed, okay, so that you cannot move forward, and so that you cannot gain the knowledge and wisdom that you are supposed to have in order for the, you know, this next season, so you're not repeating patterns here as well. Also, Leo, we got to be mindful of being hard-headed. You see this person has a helmet on, okay? So there might be some things that Source is trying to drop some diamonds on you, baby, but we're so distracted on what we want, an outcome that we want, that maybe we're not, you know, absorbing the energies or getting the messages that we're supposed to receive here, okay? So also just be mindful of who and what you entertain here as well, because if you hang around devils, guess what? You start acting like one. All right, or, you know, you start seeing, start absorbing that negative energy, and then you start emitting that same low vibrational frequency as the people that you hang around, okay? So if you notice that there's some folks that, you know, we're not all walking around, you know, we all got some stuff. But if you notice that there's people gossiping, trying to bring other people down, you know, just dragging other people through the mud and just doing things unnecessarily to sabotage other people and things like that, you might want to steer clear of that, because after all, we are the karma that we keep as well. So just like the company that you keep, you know, you'll reap the karma from the situations, from the people that you hang around as well. You know, it's kind of like, you know, in law, where you're guilty by association, you feel me? Because you see it, you know better, you didn't stop it, rebuke it, or get away from it. So sometimes you'll get splattered with some of that karma as well. All right, so moving through, allowing things to come in divine timing here, but standing in authority, making sure that you're doing what you need to do to move forward. Close out these cycles here as well, moving away from toxic energy, and also cleansing ourselves of this as well, healing from it, because sometimes you learn some traits that you have to unlearn. All right, and then also making sure that you are deliberate in your moves, okay, to move forward, keeping your business to yourself, staying connected with the Most High, following your intuition here, using that inner wisdom, inner guidance that you have been blessed with. Also, in moderation here, keeping balance, also using caution, like I said, you know, protecting what is yours, and know that you are divinely guided, and everything is coming in divine timing here for you. Have fun for now. Try not to get really stressed out, overloaded, and tied down. Know that this is this thing called life, and it's going to continue to move forward. Hold on for a moment. What the heck? Hold on. They was about to set it off out here. My God. Jeez, I'm not going to spray some holy water out there. I'm just saying. Anywho, all right, so let's see. So, your overall energy here is understand and grow ourselves better. Look closely, check, and don't assume, okay? So, Leo, deep energies for today. But I like it. I like it. I like it a lot. We're learning. We're growing. We're healing. We're elevating. All right. Let's see. Moving on what we used to do as we should. All right. So let's see. What else we got going on for Leo? That was intense. It's gonna get ugly. All right. Let's see. All right, let's see. All right, give me messages, please, and thank you. People better leave old people alone. I don't have patience out here. About to have Chicago go upside the head. I'm just saying. All right, let's see. All right, so we had the Eight of Gabriel. A great deal of activity, sudden and immediate results. Important communication. So yes, I like this for us, Leo. We already saw the accelerated motion. Where we going? What we doing? What's happening? I'm just saying, I don't know. But I love it for you, Leo. Beautiful energies coming through. All right, on the bottom of the deck, we have Queen of Ariel. Nurture yourself and those you love. Absolutely, you better take care of you. All right, the ability to make anything more beautiful, practical and wise advice, okay? Also, Leo, I don't know. It's a lot of work. I realize I got a lot of stuff. But I'm going to put it to you like this. Cleansing your space, getting rid of stuff that you haven't used in years. It might be a beautiful thing for you too. So it's kind of refreshing and things like that, you know, and that's part of nurturing yourself as well, you know, getting rid of the clutter, making space and all of that. All right, I love this for you, Leo. Beautiful energy. All right, let's see. All right, King of Michael, wisdom. Okay, y'all. I see this is a type of day that I'm about to have. All right. King of Michael. Wisdom and objectivity are important now. Stay in your integrity. A situation that calls for honest and open communication. Absolutely. Leo, don't lower your standards here. All right. Stay high vibrational. Sometimes, you know, you got to say no or whatever it is. But especially if you're expressing yourself to somebody, try to remain kind. Okay. Even if it's something that you have to say no to or, you know, not right now, whatever it is. Just keep your integrity. Don't agree to something that you don't agree with. And then also, if you have to say no to somebody, you know, just, you know, be kind about it, okay? All right, be gentle with how you handle people. All right, on the bottom of the deck. Oh, my God. Really? Okay, I am not starting this reading all over again. On the bottom of the deck. I'm not starting this reading over. Okay, on the bottom of the deck. Oh my God. This situation does not deserve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach. So we did see that there's a situation that is closing out. It doesn't deserve you. You're too good to be there, right? So close it out. Emotionally withdraw. Like I said, for somebody, you're walking away from someone. Something toxic here with that devil and the emperor. For someone, this could be someone that you're married to, have children with. Others of you, this could be a boss or somebody like that. Some of you, you may be dealing with someone that is trying to oppress you, that is a bit of a tyrant. You're just about to about face and walk away from this person, okay, or whatever their issue is. It's a them problem. It has nothing to do with you, okay? So turning your back to this situation, realizing that it's not becoming of you and of your time and energy. That's another thing. You have to be mindful of where you spend your time, your energy, your attention. You know what I mean? Given the wrong things, your attention can cause stagnancy. It can cause discouragement, okay? So if it doesn't uplift you, heal you, teach you anything, let it go. You know, let it go. If it does not serve your highest good, let it go. All right, so you have the Seven of Michael. There's a better course of action available to you. Working alone may not be the best answer. Review all the details. So if you need help, ask for help. You know, this could be a mentor, counseling, therapist, or whatever. Hell, somebody, can you help me grab this bag? You know, I'm just saying, whatever it is, ask for it. A closed mouth don't get fed, okay? Leo, I know we have an issue with that. All right, I'm just saying. But if you need help, it's there for you, okay? And accept it. That's another thing, too. Kind of hard to accept help without feeling that you owe somebody. Sometimes, Leo, there's people out there that just love the hell out of you and they will help you just because you simply need it. You understand? So with that being said, yeah, take it where it's given, okay? So there's that. We don't have to carry everything by ourselves. All right, perspective. There's a better way. Pause for reflection and insight. Dare to be different. Absolutely. And you don't have to be different from everyone else. Hopefully you are. Because there's nothing like looking at a whole bunch of minions that act and do the same thing all over again. You feel me? So step out. Be your unique, beautiful self as you are. And, you know, what do you bring to the table? Don't try to be a clone of everybody else, baby. You are unique and wonderfully made, okay? Each one of you, even if you are a twin, you were born one at a time, an individual, okay? Unless you like Siamese twins, that's a whole different thing. But you know what I'm saying? But there's that. Be unique. Dare to be yourself, okay? And there's going to be people that don't like your flavor, baby, but give them some other seasoning, okay? You do you, all right? And your people will follow you, okay? When you're emulating everybody else, they're not following you, they're following the person that you're copying, okay? So be your authentic self and shine, baby, shine. Shine, baby, shine. All right, so pause and reflect. Also, this discontent and boredom, this period is the period of where you reflect, okay? Reflect, go within. Hey, what have I gone through? Where do I want to go? Where am I at right now? What do I want to see, you know, in the next few years, next few months, next few minutes, okay? So get it together, figure it out, map it out, plan it out, and start, you know, making the steps towards where you want to be. All right, give me messages. The Three of Gabriel. Prosperity arising from wise planning. Time to take the next step. Optimistic plans that turn out as expected. Absolutely. Leo, let yourself be guided through this situation, honey, okay? Try not to force anything. If it's meant for you, it's going to be for you. All right? The thing is that forcing something and something that may be a bit difficult to achieve is two different things, okay? Difficulty may take you a longer process. Forcing something is just trying to put a big block into a round circle. It ain't happening. You feel me? But difficult may take a lot of effort, time, patience, okay? With that being said, push through, all right? Like, for instance, healing is not easy. That's why a lot of people, they give up and they revert back to that negative energy. It's easier to go back to something that you already know than to metamorphosize into something that you've never seen or never been, okay? And it's not about being like somebody else. It's being the best version of yourself, doing what's healthy for you, all right, that causes no harm to others, okay? All right, so we have the Six of Raphael. Embrace your inner child, new friends, or the rekindling of a friendship, children or childhood. Another thing that I'm going to say, if you're doing some inner healing here, that inner child of yours, the one that went through all the stuff coming up, the one that had to protect you, the one that went in and hid, you know what I'm saying, when things went wrong or whatever, you know, the one that saw everything, you go in and you grab that baby and give that baby a hug and let that inner child know, hey, you know what, you can rest now. I got us. Don't trip. I got us. I'm going to work on this for us, okay? Some of you may be rekindling with other people here that maybe you grew up with. This could be friends, family members. Just make sure that they are healthy, okay? Healthy for your circle, and also that you are healthy for them. All right, so there's that. All right, give me messages. We have the Five of Miracles. Look at this. I was going to say the Five of Miracles. We have the Five of Michael. This came out already. This is the reason for the reading. This situation does not deserve you. Release your attachment to the outcome. Consider taking a more uplifting approach, okay? So that's the reason for the reading. 5 is here. There's definitely changes coming through. 7 is here. We're definitely investing in something new. 8 is here. We're doing forward movement. The King is here, and we're standing up in our power, taking authority, doing what we need to do. Okay, there's that. And know that you are protected by the Most High, the archangels. All right. And the overall energy for the reading is 4 of Ariel. I said Ariel. Oh my God, Ariel. All right, I'm not going to be here long because what the hell? Oh my God, I could not. All right, so anyway, Y'all that's been here with me for a while, you already know. Blah, 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 blah. That part, okay? So you speak my language, and I appreciate y'all. All right, so we have the Four of Ariel, not Ariel. Oh, my God. When you give, you also receive. Being resistant to change, extremes in how you save or spend money. All right, so also, another thing, when Destiny was on the bottom of the deck, I did see financial and material changes on the bottom of this deck. Where are you? And that one talks about money, the loss of money. So for someone here, there's some changes coming in here. All right, if you were going through a financial situation, it looks like that's going to be uplifted. You could be moving on from a job that's not paying very well, a tyrant boss, all of the above, hard work, low pay, miserable conditions, I'm just saying. For some of you, you may, have just gotten yourself out of debt. Maybe that credit is looking good right about now. You've been working on it, but this was a card that was the ending too. So there's changes, financial changes coming here. All right, cycles being broken here. Some of you are breaking cycles, generational cycles of poverty. All right, some of you may have come up in families where, they didn't talk about credit and purchasing properties and, and things like that, and retirement and stuff. They just winging it. Maybe you are the first one to step out and do it for yourself. So if you are, I'm going to ask you this. Be a dear, be a blessing to the ones that come after you, and show the people that are willing to listen, especially your family members, the younger ones, the ones that still have time enough to, build and stuff like that and grow. Get with them and teach them what you've learned, okay? This is about breaking generational curses. And in other words, those curses may be patterns that have been repeated over time, throughout the generations in your family, and you could be the one to lead your people to Exodus, you feel me? Lead them from poverty to the promised land, you feel me? In other words, you can be the one that shows them the light out of the darkness, okay? So there's that. I like this for you, Leo. Beautiful, beautiful energies. Beautiful. All right, hold on. And because I'm having an issue talking today, and I like the way that this reading is going right now. It's a very beautiful energy, very light, very flowy. All right, energy. I'm going to go ahead and close this out. I do want to thank y'all so much for rocking with your girl, being patient and allowing me time to do what I want to do over here, and get my life together over here, and ground and chill and listen to some jazz and all of that. And I'm not gonna lie, it feels so good to just hang out in my balcony in the morning where everybody is still asleep and the sun is rising. You can hear all the birds chirping and the monarch butterflies flying past. And I just want to say, we live in a crazy world right now, but in the midst of all this, God is good all the time, you feel me? And no matter what you're going through, please try to find, some peace and some beauty in the world, in your world. And if there isn't any around you, sweetheart, create it, okay? Go to Home Depot, get you a couple of plants, a couple of dollars. Walmart, they're cheaper. If they have some that are damaged that you feel sorry for and feel like you can take it home and nourish it back to life, that's a project right there. It brings oxygen into your home. It's a source of life. Helps you feel better, gets your fingers in the ground and things like that. And then also, especially if you could find some of those nurseries or whatever that have the plants that are dying and you can actually bring them back to life, that's actually a good thing, because you're actually sowing seeds into something that needed your help. And in turn, it's giving you healthy oxygen. It's something beautiful to look at too. So with that being said, I am going to get a couple more of these, and let's see, darn it, I'll put those other ones up for right now. All right, so I'll get a couple of these. Did I? No. And I'm going to get a couple of those. And then I'm going to get up out of here. And again, thank you so much for being a part of the channel. I greatly appreciate every last one of you. For those that comment, those that don't comment, you like, share, subscribe, or you just watch the video. I appreciate every last one of you for being here. All right, so let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you. Healing the soul's DNA. Pain which has embedded itself into the soul's DNA doesn't have to define our future. By facing our deepest hurts, we heal. Absolutely. So we're closing out some cycles here. Focusing on healing and healing our surroundings, our souls, our family, healing finances. I'm just saying everything. And if you're wondering if this will happen, the answer is yes. External forces are influencing you. Pay attention to what fulfills you. Happiness does not require permission. And do you know, it's kind of funny because a lot of people feel that you should have their permission in order to be happy. And if people see that you are happy, some of them will try their damnness to try to wipe that smile off of your face, okay? You smile anyway. All right, so let's see. Give me messages, please, and thank you for my Leos. What do we need to know? Forgiveness is amazingly powerful and liberating. It does not mean you permit others to mistreat you, but rather you move on from it. Absolutely. All right, all is forgiven. Access is denied. Absolutely not. All right, I'm glad we're cool, but we ain't that cool. I'm just saying. All right, and Spirit is ready to offer you guidance. All that is required is an open mind and a request for assistance. Help me. All right, recognize the need to create a healthy space between you and someone that is unhealthy. Absolutely. All right, there's that. Like, oh no. You bring too much stuff into my life. No hard feelings, but that's a hard goodbye. All right, so let's see. I really hope everybody is doing well. I'm feeling amazing. Amazing today. All right, let's see. I just wish I could talk. All right, let's see. Because I was going to do a longer reading for Leo, but that's okay. Maybe next time. Give me messages. What does Leo need to know? Unspoken truths. Let's see. There are truths that need to be addressed and can no longer be avoided. Bring these to light to clear the pathway forward. Look at that. We're closing our cycles. Facing what we've gone through. Look at that. All right, illuminating it here. Facing it. Those hard things. All right, those rocky spaces. The ones that have cobwebs in them. The ones that we refuse to look at because they hurt. They are reminders. But someone here is willing to do the work to go back to the past. Relive those things and transmute those negatives into a positive, using them as fuel. All right, so also you have dependent. You rely on others and it's stopping you from claiming your power. Strength comes from self-reliance. You can, you will do it. You just have to try. Absolutely. All right, so Leo, please keep in mind that you moving forward, you don't have to have permission from anybody, okay? The thing is, like I said, people want you, sometimes for you to be in agreement with them regarding your progress, okay? But the thing is that if you want it, get up and go get it. It is what it is. Try not to dwell on the negatives here, because a lot of times people, they'll try to stand in your way, try to discourage you more with words and things like that, and try to make you feel less than. But please know that you are more than what you give yourself credit for, and you're able to accomplish whatever it is that you set your sights out to do. Sometimes it just may not come all that easy, And it may not come all that quick, but it is doable. Okay, you want to, elevate your education, go back to school. Got a learning disability, ask for help. You understand? Ask for accommodations and don't be afraid to. You understand? I'm just saying, whatever it is that you want, ask the universe to put it in for you, to, make it available to you. You got enemies coming against you, hey, get your guide, your ancestors, God himself. Hey, you know what? Lord, you see that this is what I want in my life. This is my agenda, but I have X, Y, and Z that are trying to stand in my way. I'm asking you to knock them down like bowling pins. Every once in a while, you'll start noticing that this person over here starts dealing with this. This person over here is dealing with that. This person has relapsed or whatever the hell their issue is. It's not your concern what they're going through. All you need to know is that those bowling pins have been knocked down and moved out of your way, so that you can progress forward. That's between them and their higher power, what they go through. You feel me? So I'm going to say this: cause no harm, be a blessing to others, and keep moving through, sweetheart. Okay, this thing we call life. I'm just saying. Anyway, I love y'all. Y'all have an amazing day. And again, thank you for the love, the support, being kind to each other in the, in the comments and things like that. I haven't had to delete anybody in a long time, because, yeah, there's that. And just remember that sometimes what works for you may not work for everybody else. We are not a one-size-fit-all. You know what I mean? We are all unique and individual, and we need our own little nutrients and all these things in order to help us grow, okay? So try not to judge, lest I be judged, okay? Because, we all need a little something different. And if there's something that you've gone through and you've gotten over that, don't trip on somebody else that hasn't gotten through it yet, okay? Try to be compassionate with them. And if advice is asked for, then, hey, tell what works for you. You never know. So with that being said, my loves, this is what I got for y'all. And for real, I'm gone this time. Y'all have a wonderful day. And I'll holla at y'all next time. Bye.